Hi, my name is Race Hines, and this is my presentation on cheese. How would you teach kindergartners how cheese is made? As you may already know, milk is the main ingredient to make cheese. But how does milk become cheese? As milk gets old, the bacteria in it starts to grow rapidly and eats the sugar known as lactose that some people may be allergic to and produce a substance known as lactic acid. The lactic acid causes the milk to curdle and turns into lumps and is what makes the milk smell sour when it expires. This leaves behind a substance known as whey. The whey is then removed and salt is added to the curds, and they are cut into smaller pieces and heated. After heating, this releases more whey. The whey is once again removed, which leaves clumps of casein. These clumps are pressed into molds and left to dry. Fun fact, the reason Swiss cheese has holes in it is because of the bacteria they use to mix and remove that lactose. Instead of producing lactic acid, produces CO2, which bubbles and leaves holes in the cheese. Why grocery stores should stop selling cheese. You might wonder why I would even suggest such an outlandish idea. Me, I kind of wonder too. But there are actually some downsides to cheese consumption. Cheese is often high in saturated fat and salt. This means eating too much could lead to high blood pressure and high cholesterol, and increasing your risk of cardiovascular disease. Up to 65% of people in the world are lactose intolerant, meaning a large part of the population isn't as inclined to purchase cheese, meaning the space it takes up to store could be better used for other items that have better yields. Cheese is also a fat-rich food, possibly leading to belly fat. The first time I had tasted cheese. Context for the actual tasting of the cheese: the Agricultural Act of 1949 gave the Commodity Credit Corporation the authority to purchase dairy products like cheese from farmers. The CCC has been around since the Great Depression and was created as part of New Deal's attempt to stabilize dairy prices for farmers. The price of cheese by the CCC was called the Cheese Stabilization Program, and it stabilized farmers' incomes as they could count on collecting the government money they were promised for their cheese. The Stabilization Act also stored this cheese in refrigerated warehouses, and in some cases, caves similar to wine cellars, where they could control temperature and humidity to help preserve the cheese. Nowadays, you can take private tours through these cheese caves, tasting different cheeses and wines. And let me tell you, this American cheese tastes like pure American freedom. It is just about the most American thing I can imagine. When I take the stereotype of American lifestyle, putting cheese in places it doesn't need to be is just about on the top of the list. Putting cheese in a cave, that's pretty dang American. Cool, that all works. Clumps. Okay, I have to restart. How would you teach? There was a voice crack there. I can't submit one with a voice crack. It's made. As you may already know, milk is the main ingredient to make cheese. But how does milk become cheese? As milk gets old, the bacteria in it. Context for the story. Okay. I'm happy with that. That was a good presentation. Now, don't over edit it. You're going to, but don't. You're going to anyway. Do it.